Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Sim Podcast. I'm Summer,
And I'm Lynn.
and this is our 10th episode. Yay!
Woo!
Today we're going to be talking about a bit more serious of a topic. Today we will be talking about body image. So before we dive into this topic, we wanted to give a trigger warning because we're going to be talking about some things that, well, we might be talking about eating disorders and what else? I don't remember.
Just like a body image and yeah, eating disorders. And if you're not comfortable with that kind of talk, or it's not a great subject for you to get into, don't worry about it. We understand. We're not going to force you to listen to this episode.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. So if you don't want to, totally understandable.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. We just thought this would be a good follow-up to our last episode, which was about food and drinks. That one was a bit more lighthearted, but this one we wanted to get a bit more serious because we have some thoughts about body image, specifically in Asia, but we're gonna also talk about body image in America as well.
hmm
So I guess we should first start off with what the ideal body type or what the ideal body image is for a woman in Asia.
Yeah, I mean, and we say Asia because the trend kind of seems to be generally the same across, especially at least from, we talked about it a little bit before with Japanese and Vietnamese women. Generally, it's ideal to be like very small and very thin, right?
Hmm.
There's not really an emphasis on having, how do I say this? On having boobs or a butt. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's basically you want to be pretty thin. I would
yeah.
almost say frail.
Yeah, I would say like petite.
Yeah, that's a better word.
I'm sure there are some who prefer the term frail, I guess.
Yeah, I think it has to do with being like, petite and feminine
Hmm.
because it's still very I feel like the gender rules there are still very, intact. So the idea is like, and it's kind of weird because it's not even like be healthy and thin, right?
Yeah,
It's just be thin,
yep.
no matter how you get there. Which, like, I remember learning from some people I knew before back in undergrad. And you know how, like, here in the US, we talk about not that much about being healthy, about eating disorders and stuff like that, and like getting help if you have an ED.
Hmm.
But like, I remember learning from some people that that's not really a thing over there. It's like some people do it because you need to get skinny to be pretty and stuff, and then they just like, binge eat or don't eat at all and stuff, or do weird diets. Not to say that people here don't also do that, but I feel like there's a little bit more of a public discourse about how
Hmm.
that's not very healthy. But over there, like, people don't really talk about that. And they're just like, you have to be this way or you're just like ugly.
Yeah, or you're not going to attract anyone, basically.
Yeah.
Another thing I also wanted to mention, I wasn't sure what the like skin tone preferences in Vietnam,
Light.
but I know in okay, well, okay, so it's the same.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well then I can say that yeah, it's from what I've seen, it seems like the ideal skin tone as well is very, very pale.
hmm
Not everyone is very pale.
Yeah. And then they do really scary stuff like bleaching your skin to try to get that way.
Yeah, I would say, okay, for the most part, I've seen people in Japan. Most of them are very pale anyway, but
hmm
I think I've spoken about this before, but not everyone is. Like, my grandfather was he was very, very tan.
hmm
So not everyone is like that, and it's not okay to, this is tough. It's not, it can really hurt somebody if they can't live up to that standard.
hmm
And then, like Lynn said, they do harmful things to themselves to become that ideal, air quotes, body type or skin tone, or, it's not. It's not good.
Yeah, a lot of people will like use products like skin bleach or papaya soap or just like creams that have like a white cast on them and just use that too to like make them look lighter,
Mm,
which is like, but you don't know what's in a lot of those, you know? Like
yeah.
they could be seriously damaging your skin and like, having chemicals seep through your skin. But the problem with that is just because, the standard is like you have to be this way or you're just, you know, like you said, you're not going to attract anybody. Like you're just ugly. And, it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around it because here I feel like we're
Yeah.
kind of exposed to the idea that, like, you're beautiful the way you are
Yeah.
with respect to skin tone and
Mhm.
certain features and stuff like that. But it's like it's pretty common to get minor plastic surgery done in Asia too
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's like it's hard if you're not exposed to how that culture is to kind of understand the pressure to go through those things. So I understand why people do those things. I'm not saying it's good, but like the societal pressure for those things is very different than here.
Yeah. Although there is a lot of societal pressure here too.
Yeah,
But they're in like different, it's different though. It's like different ways and different areas, like different areas of beauty. Yeah, that they
I
pressure
feel like
you
it's very
here.
different because there it's like there's one body type that looks good to them,
Yeah, but
right? There's
here,
one body type, one type of nose, one type of eyes. But
yeah,
here it's like, okay, you can be thin, not be pretty no matter what, but like that's generally seen as better. But yeah, you can be curvy, but you have to be the right kind of curvy. So they
yeah,
say that there's different things that are beautiful, but you still have to kind of fit into that stereotypical like, oh, thin model type, or like if you're curvy, you have to be curvy in a specific way.
mm-hmm.
It's just a different kind of standard.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to see anybody harm themselves or hurt themselves to fit a certain like body type or ideal when like it just looks unhealthy for them.
Hmm.
Like I've seen so many times in Japan where a girl just looks so unhealthily like thin. Like she looks like she is not getting proper nutrition,
Hmm.
but that's like the body type that is like idolized.
Yeah, and I think there's a difference between just being quote unquote naturally thin and then like trying to attain something like you were saying where someone looks like they're not getting enough nutrition, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of people say that like a lot of Asians, so like this only applies to like what we know about Asian and like Asian society and stuff.
Yeah.
We can't speak on other cultures because obviously we don't know as much about those cultures. I know for at least Vietnamese culture, my mom and just like Vietnamese kind of adults compared like adults as in compared to our age, so people who are like in their 50s and 60s and stuff,
Hmm.
especially ones that live here, they're like, oh, we eat so healthy in Vietnam, and that's why no one there is fat. So they think because the way Vietnamese food is, I kind of touched on it last episode. They're very proud of it being a lot of vegetables and not and like healthy, quote unquote, healthy amounts of everything. And they're like, oh, we eat a lot, but it's because it's a lot of vegetables and it's healthy that everyone's so skinny. So I think it's not just halfies, but people who have parents, for Vietnamese at least, Vietnamese parents, like even if you're not half, they, you know, will call you fat if you're not thin like they were or are. And they kind of attribute it to like, oh, Americans eat so unhealthy. We eat so healthy in Vietnam, and like Vietnamese food is so much healthier. But I don't know. I think that that hurts people a lot when they just like call their children fat
Hmm.
because they mean it in a derogatory way. Like they're calling them fat to not to hurt them, but because they want them to
Be
look a
thinner.
certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah, be thinner, look a certain way. And it's hard to live here in that way where your parents are telling you that, you're fat, but then people are trying to tell you like, especially like your friends will be like, "Oh, you're not fat," you know?
Yeah.
It's weird to live in that because I had a, especially when I was younger, a lot, at least in my family. I'm just putting it out there that I'm not like obese. I'm honestly I'm like chubby, but I'm not like overly obese or anything. And I've kind of always been that way. So when I was younger and stuff, I remember because I'm the only one that's half, right?
Hmm.
So a lot of my cousins were like their bodies look like typical Vietnamese kids, right? So they were
Right.
a little bit thinner than me because my dad's side is kind of stockier.
Hmm.
So like my build is a little bit I don't even know how to describe it. Like I'm not like a big person. I'm short. Like
Hmm.
but it's not the same. I don't want to say like it's the bone structure or whatever, like small bones versus big bones, but
No, you have a different body than them, you know?
yeah, so I just have a different body. It looks like the general body structure looks more like my dad's side. It's not like it doesn't look like my Vietnamese side, you know?
Yeah, and also like it bothers me. Yeah, I have had the same experiences to you as well. But yeah, also it's not just like the bone structure, it's like your internals are also different. The way you process things, like
Yeah,
foods and drinks and like everything is different than everybody in your family.
exactly. Yeah. But like because I'm the only half person, so like obviously I look bigger compared to everybody on that side.
Mhm.
So then the adults are just like, you need to lose weight because like look at you compared to your cousins, you're fat. But it's like
Yeah.
I'm not like fat and I'm definitely not unhealthy. Like I played a lot of sports. I never ate terrible. Like I was healthy. I'm just like and like disclaimer, BMI doesn't like tell you anything, honestly. It's super inaccurate to like your actual health. Cuz like
Yeah.
according to BMI, I am obese, but I know I'm not
But you're
actually
not
like
though.
and I'm not unhealthy like as a person. Like
Yeah.
I exercise every day, especially now like during quarantine, not gonna lie, I've like gotten pretty healthy. Not that I wasn't healthy before, but I've been able to exercise more and eat healthier because we're not like going to Noodles and Company all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's weird because even though you can also tell if you see me in person that I've gotten healthier, but no matter what, I'm still gonna be fat compared to my cousins. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, especially if you have that pressure from a different culture versus like American culture, I guess. Because like I've never had like anyone who is American call me fat. That like white
Yeah.
American or whatever. No one else who wasn't Asian American has like called me fat. So it's just like when you have those two different standards, it's really hard because like you can't really control how your body is in that sense, especially
Mhm.
if you're being compared to like one side versus the other.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can relate.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been called fat. I mean, I still do from like my Asian side of the family, but it can be damaging to somebody, and I can see why it can be. I just never really took it. Maybe I'm just used to it at this point. I think whenever I hear that, I am like irritated sometimes, and then other
Hmm.
times I'm like, okay, maybe I should like exercise some more, or I don't know. I I try to make it like a positive thing, but it's hard
Hmm.
sometimes.
It is hard.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call myself fat either. I guess, I mean, I know I've been chubby at times, especially during college. I like my weight would go like back and forth because I would like,
Oh yeah, same.
yeah, it would fluctuate so much.
Stress, eating.
Stress, I would like the way it usually went was like I would gain weight when I would go to college, and then when I would come back home for like winter or summer breaks, I would lose a lot of weight because well, not a lot, but like I would lose like
Hmm.
maybe 5 to like 7 pounds, and then because I would like exercise and then I'd be eating better, but like once I went back to college, I would eat like shit and not take care of myself very well. I would not go to the gym very often, and
Mm.
I would oh, and then I got a boyfriend, and then you go out to eat on dates, and then you it's just tough, and
No, yeah.
that's really hard too. No, this episode isn't really about that, but like that's really hard too because you want to be able to like go on like to keep up with him or her basically,
Mm-hmm.
whoever your significant other is, you want to keep up with them and go on like dates and stuff, right? And a lot of times
Yeah.
those dates involve food.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this realization that I cannot keep up with him because he and I do not have the same metabolism. He's a very tall man in his early 20s, and obviously he has like the best metabolism ever, and then
Mm-hmm.
I don't anymore, like that. I had that metabolism when I was like 14 and then it went away.
See, I never had that. And I was the opposite in school. I would go to the gym regularly at school because there was one like close to my dorm room. I
Ugh,
wouldn't eat the best
yes.
because like I was limited to what was at in the cafeteria, so it wasn't like
Mhm.
amazing food that was super healthy. Because like not gonna lie, the healthy options were pretty gross or like literally just salad.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't even get me started on the food at my university.
Once I was like not living on campus, then it was a little bit easier to be healthy, like if you could cook in your own kitchen and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I would be the opposite because I would work out a lot, like regularly when I was on campus, but then I would come home and be lazy and I'd be meeting people, catching up with people, eating out all the time on the breaks. So I
Mhm.
was kind of the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It's definitely not ideal though to me anyway. I wish I could have been more consistent with my food and the how much I worked out and stuff.
But we did
Um,
get consistent when we worked together. We were workout buddies at lunch every day.
yeah, we were like each other's motivation.
Hmm.
Maybe we we would also be each other's like I don't know what the word is, but we would also like kind of enable each other and go out to eat all the time.
Yeah, like we would be like, yeah, all right, you're working out, so I'm working out, but it's also like, oh, you're eating
Let's go to
poutine
Taco Bell.
today. I'm also
Yep.
eating poutine today. Oh my God, Taco Bell, dude, that was our weakness.
It's so good. Ah, yes.
Taco
Yes, we
smell.
love Taco Bell. Yes, Taco Spell. Please sponsor us, Taco Bell.
That would be amazing.
Oh my gosh, I think we would actually like I definitely would gain weight if Taco Bell sponsored us.
Yeah, especially since even like they're vegetarian, even if we went vegetarian, it's not like it's their beans are
Dude,
still covered in stuff.
it's just like beans, rice, cheese.
Oh my God, cheese would make us so like actually gain weight.
Oh my God, but I love cheese so much. It's like my weakness. Anyway,
I just wanted to touch on quickly that we know in Asia that it's kind of changing. Like, there's not just, the thin body type that's desirable now, especially because of like how prevalent Western media is. There's like a small push for like more body positivity and that like not being very thin but like having curves I guess is also desirable, but it's still like very small minority kind of opinion, I
yeah,
feel like.
yeah, it's very small. I believe.
But I think that also that's something I wanted to talk about too is body positivity sort of here,
Mm, yeah.
especially like that whole thing about Lizzo.
I think body positivity can get confusing at times here
Yeah.
in the United States.
So what I mean is Lizzo, she's a bigger woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Than like most people who are like celebrities. People were accusing her of promoting obesity because, and I disagree with this because I disagree with people saying that she was promoting obesity
Yeah,
just
I do
because
too.
she said she was happy with herself in her body, basically. So people were saying she was promoting obesity and promoting being unhealthy. She's not because she's been pretty public about that I'm pretty sure I've seen that she does eat healthy.
I have seen that.
And
Yeah.
she obviously is a performer, so she does have to like rehearse and keep up with like dancing regimens. So she's exercising basically. so it's not like she lives a completely unhealthy lifestyle. She's not promoting being obese. She's promoting being happy with where your body is and loving yourself enough to stay healthy, which I think is like what body positivity should be,
Mm-hmm. I agree
is
with
like
that.
no matter what size you are currently, you need to embrace that. And if you want to work to being, and like embrace that and be healthy. So, like, if for some reason you can't change your size as long as you're staying healthy, like exercising and eating right, and stuff like that, I think then you should, love your body. If you're not happy with your body because you think you can make it better in the sense of like being stronger, being faster, in whatever way you want, you should be working towards that to be happy with your body. But like you shouldn't shame people for their body size or body type because you don't really know, and like calling them unhealthy
Yeah,
because you don't know what they do.
you also don't know their like medical history and stuff, so
Yeah.
that's making a lot of assumptions that you don't need to be making about somebody
Mhm.
you don't even know.
Mhm.
Just be I'm glad she's promoting body positivity and loving yourself no matter
Mhm.
what you look like. Like because it doesn't like we said, like weight does not it's not everything actually. It doesn't
That
really
number doesn't matter.
matter
Like,
the most, you know?
yeah, the
Yeah,
number
it's
on the scale doesn't matter because, like, I don't know if there's like a concept called skinny fat where, like, obviously you don't weigh a lot and you're like a skinny, quote unquote, person, but basically you don't have any strength or muscles because you eat like shit and you don't work out. It's like you're
that's like
just thin.
me. Yeah, I that's like me, basically. I have
But
no
you do work
muscles.
out.
Yes, I do. Well, I've kind of fallen off the wagon ever since I started that one
But the
like
point is that you're
class I
healthy.
had. But
The way they mean is like you eat like literal crap and you don't like do anything ever to try to be healthy. But people
I've
will like perceive
definitely
you as healthy because you're thin.
yeah, I've definitely been at like skinny fat though.
Mhm.
Like probably in college, I definitely was eating like shit, going to cookout all the time. And
Girl, cookout's so good though.
dude, cookout slaps. But it's not healthy. We're not promoting that as healthy.
No,
But
it
it's a
only slaps
good
at 2
treat.
a.m.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the only time. Ugh. Anyway, no, I've definitely been like skinny fat where it's like, yeah, I would just eat like shit and I wouldn't work out. I've definitely been there. But
Mhm.
people would perceive me as being skinny because I guess I was, but I wasn't healthy though. You know, like I wouldn't consider that the healthiest time of my life.
Yeah,
Um,
so I think like, and I think this is just a fact, like if we knew each other back then, like we went to the same school and we were friends, right? And we were
mhm,
living the lifestyles that we did. So back then, I weighed more than I do now, but I was like, working out regularly, especially like I would also do some upper body. So I was kind of strong-ish. Not like strong
mhm,
strong, but like most girls are, it's kind of a stereotype that girls mostly just do cardio or like butt exercises, but I would
yeah,
try to do some upper body stuff. So I was
good
like,
for you.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But like, so let's think about back then where you were saying like you were probably skinny fat, right?
Yeah.
At that time. And like at that time I was like working out regularly, but like I weighed more than I do now. So even
Well,
if people saw us together, I think they would perceive you as quote unquote like healthier than me.
yeah. Even though I like wasn't.
But it's because
Um,
of the fact that they perceived you as like quote unquote thin.
yeah. Okay, I was, but like I wasn't it wasn't healthy though, you know?
Right,
It's
exactly. But the point is people would perceive you as that just because you were thinner
yeah.
than I probably was.
Mhm.
So,
Also another thing I wanted to mention that you brought up, you said you were doing some weight training like upper body strength and stuff.
mhm,
So another thing I wanted to mention is that muscle weighs more than fat.
mhm.
So it like at a certain point, yes, your weight does not matter, you know? Like if you're working out and you're eating healthy, that's good enough, you know?
Mhm.
Like that's good in my book.
You also do need a little bit of fat on your body, and also ladies, Don't
especially as
listen to
women.
people. You need to work out your core and your upper body. As terrible as it feels, don't just do booty and thigh workouts and cardio. Do upper body workouts, and don't do them just to lose weight. Do it to be strong, so you don't need a man to open the pickle jar for you.
Yes, also sometimes you need that extra help though, and that pickle jar won't open. So then get yourself like one of those rubber thingies where it helps you open the jar and it like grips the jar lid, and then you're good to go.
Literally.
Don't need any help. Independent.
But basically the point was like people don't know if we knew each other back then in that hypothetical situation. People don't know our backgrounds. So like
Mhm.
but they would still probably assume that you were like quote unquote healthier than me at that time.
Mhm.
And like that's the issue a lot of times, like you were saying, people don't know others' medical background.
Yep.
Not even just medical, but just like their
Yeah.
what they do with their life, you know?
Yeah.
So people just need to basically stop commenting on other people's bodies.
Yes. I mean, I can't believe we have to say that, but also like it can like some of your comments can be really triggering too to others who are suffering from like or recovering
Hmm.
from like eating disorders. So just be mindful of what you're saying to people because it can really hurt them. You don't know what, like we said, you don't know what they've gone through in the past. You don't know their medical history. Just be kind and
Even if you
encouraging.
think it's a compliment, like you don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. Because I kind of have a story about that. There was a time in high school where I was really sick. I went to a doctor and everything, and no one really knew what happened, and it went away eventually. But like I couldn't keep anything down in my stomach for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like I would
Mhm.
literally throw up everything.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't on purpose. So it wasn't an ED. I just would
Yeah,
throw up
you just had an
literally
illness.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we never figured out really what it was because I was on like probiotics and all that. Like the doctor prescribed me so much stuff, and like the only thing I could eat was like a piece of bread in the morning, and that was like that still made me feel ill.
Yeah.
And I like so basically I would could barely eat for like 2 or 3 weeks, or I think almost a month or something. And I lost like 14 pounds very fast in a very unhealthy way. And I was like,
Mhm.
I was obviously very sick, you
Yeah.
know? But then I think I saw one of my uncles right while that was right after that happened. So like I hadn't gained the weight back or anything. And he was like, "Wow, you look good. Keep doing what you're doing." But he didn't know I was sick. He just saw
Yeah.
that I lost weight.
Yeah.
So, and I know he didn't mean it like I know he meant it as a compliment, but like
Yeah,
that's
he
what I'm
didn't
saying,
know it
like
was
you exactly.
yeah.
He didn't know, but that's kind of
Yeah.
the point is like he
That
didn't
can hurt
know.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it even though he meant well, it kind of made me feel like shit because I was like, damn, did I look bad before?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and like it was something that was out of my control in a way. So it was just that's why I'm like, you probably even if you think it's going to be a compliment, unless you really know what was happening, I don't think it's a good idea to really comment, even if people are like losing weight, if that's like what you think they should do, just don't, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's like influencers who like, or like, you've seen like those before and after. There's been like a lot during quarantine, like
Mhm.
people, making some incredible changes in their life, and you can like
Mhm.
visibly see it in like their body has changed so much,
Right.
and for the better, it seems like for them.
Mhm.
So if somebody like posts something like that, it's just good to say like, "Oh, great job," if they're
Mhm.
happy with if it seems like they're
Right.
happy with their body now, but don't make
Mhm.
any comments like, "Oh, you look good skinny," or, like that like you said, it implies like, "Oh, I didn't look good before."
Yeah, I have seen those, and I think that is a really good kind of thing about quarantine is because the lifestyle is kind of a little bit more relaxed, especially about commutes and like you have a little
Mhm.
bit more control about what you're eating at home. I've seen those like a lot of people have gotten really healthy because they have more time to work out and more time to cook and
Yeah.
like control kind of what they do. But I also saw recently there were people posting kind of the opposite ones where they were like they gained weight because they were stressed.
Yeah,
and stuff like
that's
that
okay
too.
too.
And
Yeah,
that's totally fine. Yeah, it
that's
is.
normal.
It's normal and very understandable, in these unprecedented times. But I think,
Yeah.
but I remember I saw people posting those, and obviously there weren't as many positive comments or comforting comments, even though it's like a pretty common thing that's been happening for people to gain weight because a lot of people aren't able to continue going to gyms if that's what they were doing before,
Yeah.
or stuff like that, so, and stress in general.
Yeah. And some people have like families that they need to take care of because they're all home 24/7 and they just don't
Exactly.
have the time to themselves as much anymore.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
you can see
okay.
there's still that reaction
Mhm.
towards, like, people commenting. And then people also commenting when women get strong, as like if they, have visible muscle and they're like, "Oh, it looks," people comment saying, "Oh, it looks manly," or "It doesn't look good." Like, shut up. Like, they're not doing it for you. Like, it's good to be strong.
Yeah, if you don't have anything to say, like nice to say, just don't say it. Like, who asked you if you thought it was attractive or not,
That's
you
literally
know?
what they teach you in like elementary school, and people still can't follow that, but
Yes,
as
because the
adults.
world's full of idiots. I would like to believe that there are nice people, like the majority of people are nice. I just think a lot of the times the way things are phrased, especially over the internet, since you don't know how it's said,
Hmm.
it can be taken, like somebody can take offense to that.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, if you don't have anything nice to say, keep your mouth shut and just be mindful of how someone might take what you're saying, even if you mean it in a good way. It might not be received that way, and don't get defensive if someone tells you something hurt them. Like, even if
Yeah,
that wasn't your intention, the point is the way you said it made someone feel bad. So don't get defensive.
yep. You don't know what they've gone through or what they are going through, so
Yeah,
just don't.
especially about weight in
Yeah, and
in the
body
US, I feel
image.
like. I feel
Yeah,
like that's another thing is like weight is kind of a touchy topic here, but people comment on your weight freely in a lot of other cultures. Like, weight is not a taboo thing, I feel like, in the same
not
way.
in, yeah, it definitely isn't. Like, it is definitely a touchy subject here, but like we said, in like our cultures, it's like commented on pretty frequently, you know,
Hmm.
but it's not necessarily in a good way. It's usually
Yeah,
in a negative way from what I've seen.
yeah. I think I kind of pull from both in a sense, where like I kind of understand the point of what my mom says about eating healthy, or like how Vietnamese food can be healthier than what a
Oh
traditional
yeah,
American quote unquote diet is, because of like there's not so much oil, there's like a healthy variety of veggies, which you can eat in an American diet. Like, that's not the point. The point I'm saying is like eating healthy is important, but
yes.
so taking that from that side on the eating healthy part, and then taking from like American culture of like the kind of push towards an athletic build being desirable, and like being healthy in the sense of like working out to have like muscle mass, as
Mhm.
opposed to being thin, like just thin, I think. So like taking that from one side and then taking the healthy eating kind of concept. Not that Americans don't promote healthy eating, but
Uh, I mean, uh,
I don't know, a lot of those like food challenges come from the US, so like those.
America, yeah. I mean, the fast food here alone is awful. It just makes you feel like crap after you eat it, and
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
good
yeah.
for you at all.
We talked about that last week too, where like the fast food in Asia is like doesn't make you feel like crap. Even if it's not that great for you,
Yeah,
it won't make you feel like crap in the same way as here.
yeah, and I think it's healthier. I guess, well, it depends. They have McDonald's over there and stuff, but like,
Hmm.
it depends on the fast food that you go to, but I just don't feel like crap after like every meal I eat in Japan, you know? But whenever I go, but like when I go out to eat, but like when I go out to eat in America, it costs me a lot of money and I feel like shit. So there's no winning.
I feel the same though when I eat Vietnamese food in the sense that like I can eat a lot of Vietnamese food and not feel like shit. Like the only reason I'll feel like shit is because I'm so full, but I won't feel
Yeah.
like that grossness in the same way
Hmm.
as like
Yeah.
if I ate out at like an American style restaurant, I would feel
Yeah.
like bad because I was full and like shit because of like the food I ate makes my body feel like shit. So it's like
Yeah.
it's different in that sense of like eating healthy. And I don't know why it's like that. And I don't want to say it's because of the oil,
I
but
think it's because America uses more like processed foods, honestly.
yeah, that's true.
Because everything seems like
Manufactured and processed.
well, yeah, everything seems like fresher in Japan.
Hmm.
It like even I don't know, it just seems like fresh food when you eat it. So I think that's a big factor.
It's so expensive to eat fresh
Yeah,
here.
it's like bougie. You got to go to like Whole Foods or ugh. Luckily Trader Joe's, which I love, they're not expensive. So shout out to Trader Joe's, sponsor us. Um,
Yeah, they're not expensive, but in comparison to what you can get from regular big chain grocery stores, it is expensive in that sense. But to
mhm.
be eating fresher foods and stuff like that, it from
It's
there,
so
it's
expensive.
not that expensive at Trader Joe's in
No,
comparison.
Whole
Yeah.
Foods is like the devil of being expensive.
Farmers markets are cool in concept, but they are expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, yeah, what
If
we're
you're
trying to
trying to
say
feed
here
a
is,
family.
yeah, what we're saying here is like it seems like it's more expensive to be healthier in America than it to be healthy in like
It's almost a luxury
Asia.
to be healthy, almost.
Yeah, that's why the celebrities are all so fit and
They
healthy.
can afford the good
They've got a
veggies.
fucking personal chef cooking them like organic things that I've never even heard of.
Yeah, and
And
that's
they
I
make
feel
them
like that is the
delicious.
problem is because like
Yeah,
the mass manufactured food is cheaper than the fresh food,
yeah.
which is
So
so
it
it's like it is
discourages.
almost a luxury to be healthy in like from a food standpoint.
Yeah, and it kind of like discourages people from, you know, there's not, it discourages people from spending so much money on food when they could spend very little of their money on food, you know? Like it's
Mhm.
just, especially if they've got like multiple mouths to feed within their household, you
Exactly.
know? It's
Mhm.
just not very encouraging.
Yeah, it's a very different lifestyle because I know in at least from what my mom told me in Vietnam and when I was in China, it's what you do is you basically go to the market every day to get fresh food for that
Yes.
day or the next day.
Yeah,
For
that's what we
then
would
that
do too.
yeah, and that's your grocery shopping is you
Yeah,
get
every
fresh
day.
stuff from local people every day. But
Yep.
that's not really possible here unless you like can go around visiting people's farms and different farmers markets every day and have time to do that and work and cook every day
Yeah.
because you'd have to go out of your way to do it basically. It's easier to be healthy in Asia, I feel like.
Yeah. And I think it's even encouraged more
Hmm.
to eat healthier. Maybe they have healthier dishes too that they make, you know, in general, like at home and stuff.
I know a lot of people in the US kind of I from like an outsider perspective, someone who's not Japanese, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Japanese people eat so healthy because they have like this stereotypical idea of what Japanese people eat for breakfast and like drinking matcha um to
Wait,
be
what
like
do people
healthy.
think? What do
They
people think
for
that we eat
breakfast,
for breakfast? Yeah.
like a bowl of miso soup and like a tiny bit of rice and like a tiny bit of fish or like a tiny bit of tofu. Like I
Mm,
remember like they think that and it's like that, And I think like the stereotypical school lunches are also kind of an indicator that people think that the diet in Japan is very like quote unquote, healthy. That
Yeah.
but the thing is like they have like a really mystified idea of it that like they think it's so different and that's the reason why people are like healthy or skinny or whatever.
Um,
It's really weird.
no, no, I know what you mean. Well, yeah, people do eat miso soup and rice for breakfast sometimes. Sometimes they eat it for lunch. I would
Hmm.
say, like, we usually eat a piece of bread for breakfast with butter on it, or like a pastry.
The
Um,
anime girl running with the toast in her mouth to school
yeah,
kind of
I
look.
mean, yeah, that kind of vibe. But I'm not, yeah, okay, well, I want to clear one thing up. I'm not saying like Japan doesn't have any like unhealthy or they only have healthy foods, you know, like
Hmm.
they love fried food over there. We have like a bunch of things that are fried.
Hmm.
And that's not really the healthiest thing. But I obviously we're not like dietitians or like food experts, but I really do think like the processed foods and like the cost of food really affects how people eat as a
Yeah.
society.
Hmm. Like we were saying, the access to like fresh food every day, that fresh cheap food every day that you can
Hmm.
get is like way easy. It's way easier to get that stuff than to go out of your way and get like McDonald's over there.
Yeah,
But here it's,
yeah,
it's cheaper to get a 20-piece nugget meal for like two or three people than it is to go buy enough fresh ingredients for three people, to make a
yeah,
meal.
yeah,
It's hard.
exactly. It's tough, yeah. It takes a lot of self-discipline, really. Because, well, at least for me anyway. I know some people it's easier than others, but it's hard. Like, I really love going out to eat.
Oh, I have no willpower. Like if you put sweets in front of me, I will eat them. Like you don't have to tell me anything. Like just put them down before you even say, "Do you want this?" I will take it and say thank you.
That's yum.
Like
That's
I have
funny.
no like resistance or willpower when it comes to food.
Yeah. Well, for me, sweets I can like resist. I'm like, nah. But that's just because I'm like I've spoken about this. I'm weird and I don't like sweets very much. But like anything like savory or like a meal, I'm there. It's so hard. I wish I could say no. I feel like it's easier for some people than it is for others.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
that's okay. It's just you gotta learn, I guess,
Yeah.
and exercise. It's important to exercise too.
Mhm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
Oh, final thoughts. Yes, I'm definitely one of those girls who just does cardio. Um,
Which is good. Your heart is also a muscle that needs to be healthy.
yes,
It's
I
better than
really
nothing.
I do like running a lot.
Mhm.
And I think that's really good for your body overall. So I don't
Yes.
know. It's not the worst thing. I definitely cannot deny I need to do some more upper body strength because I do not have any. I've never worked those muscles, never built them at all.
You can get
Um,
you can get those little wrist weights, like 2-pound wrist
yeah,
weights. So like when you're running, you'll have like some weight resistance in your upper body if you're
yeah, that's
just
a good
like
idea.
'cause that's like the easiest thing you can do because I hate running. I hate working. Honestly, I hate working out in general, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I absolutely
it's,
hate it. A lot of my exercise
yeah,
nowadays comes from walking. So I walk like 3 to 4 miles a day, and I'll put on the
yeah.
weights sometimes and like do kind of weird arm movements while I'm walking. So I look like those old Asian grandmas doing like the weird arm workouts, but like with the weights. So it's like,
Yeah,
some resistance and stuff there. That's like the easiest thing you can do,
yeah,
I think, if you like running.
yeah. I do like running a lot, so maybe I should do that. Put them on my wrists. Another thing I probably need to do is like work out my core muscles more,
I
which is really hard.
I need to do that too. I'm really bad about core.
It's hard. It's really hard. I really
It's
wish.
hard and it hurts.
Yeah, that's like one thing I really like I've never had is a good like I'd like a nice looking stomach, and I really, really want one that looks nice, like toned.
Hmm.
But I've never had that. Like, I'm pretty okay with everything else about myself, but that is one thing I want to change, and of course, that's like the hardest thing to
Yeah,
like,
core is literally the hardest.
yeah, it's so tough. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do like various core exercises, like
Good
planks.
luck.
Oh gosh,
Those are the
yeah,
worst.
I hate planks, but they're like the best thing you can do for your core apparently, so that's great. But there's like other fun ones too that like my friend has taught me
Hmm.
because she used to be on like the rowing team at like her high school and
Oh,
stuff,
I
and so
low-key
she,
love the rowing machines in gyms. Those are kind
nah,
of fun.
I can't do that. I can't do
Oh.
the rowing machine. I have to oh yeah, we should talk about like our favorite exercises. That would be really cool.
Hmm.
Like I said, I like running. I prefer to run outside, but most of the time I just run on the treadmill. I really like the elliptical. I wish we had one at home.
Hmm.
I could go on that thing for like hours. Stairmaster, that thing, I don't know. I've seen so many girls just go on that thing and they go for like a good 30 minutes. I can only do like 10 and it like burns. It's hard. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
tried that, but
No,
it's
I
like
have.
tough. It's, oh gosh, I can't do
Yeah.
it for more than 10 minutes.
I also like the elliptical a lot. That's what we would do when we worked out together. We'd be on the ellipticals next to
Yeah,
each other.
exactly.
I would do the Stairmaster for like 10 minutes and then give up because I would be like gross and
Okay,
sweaty.
same. Yeah.
I used to do that in the dorms when I didn't, which is like a good exercise, by the way, for people that like can't get to the gym on campus or if your gym is too far. You can just go up and down the stairwell in your dorm.
Yeah, that's a great way of exercising. It's a good cardio workout.
Yeah, that's what I would do when it was like a cardio day for me back then, and I could if I couldn't get to a if the gym was too far, if it was too cold to go, because that was when I was in school in New York. If it was too
Mm-hmm.
cold for me to go to the gym, I would work out in the stairwell. So like you sound like a maniac running up and down the stairs, but yeah, I also do like the rowing machine a lot. That was my go-to if I wanted to work out my core and upper body
Mm-hmm.
was the rowing machine because for me that was like pretty easy. I think some of the other machines are kind of intimidating for me
Oh yeah, same.
in the sense of like like bicep or tricep stuff. So I liked the rowing
Yeah.
stuff because that works out like your back, your arms, and your core for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I like leg presses. I like the bad girl good girl machine, which is a
Yeah, I know
it's
what you're talking about.
the one that you put your thighs like and you either move them inwards or outwards where you flip the pads around with the resistance. So that's the bad girl good girl machine. I think it's the actual name is like the adductor and like the adductor muscles in your legs and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
haven't tried
those are
any
like
of
my
these.
go-to.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
haven't tried, like, I don't really try those machines because I am intimidated by them. Yeah.
See, if I don't go to a gym, I like won't work out those any of those muscles at all because I hate crunches, I hate planks, I hate the all
You don't
those
like
things. So
crunches?
no, I hate them. I like I literally hate all those kinds of exercises. So like for me, seeing being in
Yeah.
the gym and seeing the machines like kind of motivates me in a way to actually work out, which is
Yeah.
like weird. I know a lot of people are really good about like working out at home. I'm not. So like I miss kind of going to a gym
I
in
do
that
miss going
sense.
to the gym too.
I don't like seeing
'Cause
gym bros, but like I enjoy having access to machines.
I hate seeing gym bros. But I do like it. I seeing people there working out also kind of motivates me too, though, because I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I want to be fit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really need to tone down on the cardio probably and just like, well, not tone down, but like also focus on my upper body strength because I do. I just do cardio pretty much. That's all I really do.
It's okay. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's kept me like fit, you know. But oh, and some Chloe Ting workouts too.
Oh my God, I hate her ab challenge. I watched it
I
for like 5 minutes and then I was like, no, I can't do this.
I like her. Okay, this one video I really liked it and actually like changed my thighs. I I like that I'm all right with my thighs, but like I didn't really like them a lot very much before because I like gained weight and there wasn't very much shape to them. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I want to get rid of like some of my inner thigh fat because I didn't really have a lot on the outside, but I had some on the inside.
Hmm.
And like she has like this 16-minute thigh workout that's like great. It's pretty easy to do too. So
Hmm.
like you know like how sometimes there's like she like I'm sure it's not just her, but there's like some exercises where you're like, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do that, you know?
Hmm.
But like this one was like really easy and it's pretty good. It gets you sweating. If anybody out there wants to work on their thighs, I recommend. It's fun.
Yeah, I like
She takes some
Chloe
breaks.
Ting. I like Chloe Ting. I like Blogilates, Cassie Ho. She's pretty cool. Some easy
Mhm.
home workouts.
Yeah. Oh, yoga's also really good too.
Oh, I don't
Makes you
like
really
yoga.
flexible. You don't like yoga?
I am a very unbalanced person. I know the fix for that is actually doing yoga, but like getting over that and starting yoga is hard.
Yeah. It's fun when you take a yoga class, honestly. I I took one when I went to my university and it was so much fun. But honestly, it really made me more flexible. I've never been like able to, I don't know, like I've never really been flexible. Maybe because I am a
Mhm.
runner and I like to run a lot. So you're
Mhm.
not really gonna be flexible because your hips are just moving like back and forth because you're not doing much more than that.
Mhm.
But like I was able to like stretch my legs out more and like it's kind of hard for me to like touch my toes when I stretch, so I was finally able to do that.
Mhm.
Maybe because my legs are longer than my upper body also because I literally have no torso.
See, I'm the opposite. I have a really long torso and short legs, so I never had a problem touching my toes, but like I'm generally not that flexible. I
Yeah.
My joints are like grandma joints. Like I don't know if you know, but
Wait,
I've been through physical therapy because I had like a nerve issue in one of my hips.
oh my God, what?
Yeah. Yeah, so like my body is that's why like I kind of like encourage working out even though I'm like kind of bad at keeping up with it is because I have like a frail grandma body.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So everybody needs to work out and stay healthy. Don't let your joints and hip problems deter you.
Yes. Swimming. Oh, also swimming is probably like the best thing overall if you want to get rid of like any fat and build muscle for like your entire body. Swimming
Hmm.
is the best thing. I
Oh, and it's
unfortunately,
easy on your joints.
yes, that's another thing because it's some people have like bad knees, and they can't run.
Hmm.
So, yeah, swimming is probably like one of the best exercises you can do. I unfortunately have an issue with chlorine where I'm not allergic to it, but I'm like sensitive to it.
Hmm.
So I have to be careful about swimming in pools. So I
Hmm.
just stay away from that shit.
You need your own personal pool that doesn't require so much chlorine because you're the only person in it.
Yeah, that would be nice if I could like regulate it because if there's too much chlorine in it, then I'm gonna get like weird red splotches on my back, and
Hmm.
it's not cool to look at. But yeah, swimming, I recommend.
Yeah, swimming's pretty good. I wish we lived in a climate that allowed more swimming.
Yeah, and like going to the beach.
I'm not like a huge fan of the beach.
I I'm so upset. I love the beach.
I don't like hot weather.
Okay, well,
I don't like sand all in my stuff and on my body. I don't like the sticky salt water.
oh my
I don't
God.
like being around other smelly people and the
Well,
smell of
yeah, same.
sunscreen.
Well, we hate people, so.
Yeah, I know. And I don't like the seagulls chasing me for my french fries.
Oh my God, yeah, they can be aggressive. I hate birds. I hate to say this, but I also don't, but I hate birds. And I've got another story about birds for a later episode, but anyway, I do not like them, especially the pigeons, especially in New York City, because they are not afraid and they come right up to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand the appeal and like the idea of the beach, but then once I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually there, I do not enjoy myself, so I kind of just don't really go anymore.
Wait, what beaches? Okay, what beaches have you been to though?
I've been to quite a few different beaches in Florida, both
Uh,
crowded and not crowded. I've been to
oh
ones
my
in
gosh. No, I just thought of Florida. No,
I've
I've just, yeah, I have a bad
yeah.
experience with Florida.
I've been to Virginia Beach, Ocean City, Rehoboth.
Ooh,
Pretty sure I've been to a couple. I think I've been to Hilton Head in the Carolinas.
I heard that's pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty. Like, I do like the idea of a beach,
Mm-hmm.
but once I'm there, I'm kind of like, I don't want sand all up in my stuff, like my
Yeah.
physical stuff and on my skin. I don't like having to prepare to go there. Like, you have to pack so much stuff, and then setting up
Mm-hmm.
is annoying. Breaking everything down is annoying. Like, I like the idea of like relaxing on a beach and stuff, but then once I'm actually there, I never really have like the best time.
Oh
So that's why I'm
no.
kind of like, and I've tried like many different beaches, and it's just not for me. I feel like
Yeah, I guess it's not for everyone. I'm so sad though.
I'd rather be inside like an oceanfront apartment or something and looking at
What?
it. Like that's fine. Like I can see the relaxing waves and that's good.
That is like that's a fun experience too. No, I mean, I gotta take you to Hawaii.
Oh, I've been to Hawaii when I was like
You
8.
have?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Which island did you go to?
The big one.
The
My
Big
uncle lives
Island?
there. Yeah.
Mm. Well, you need to go to you need to go to a different island too then, because I guess because I just really enjoy beaches, but I think it's like I think Waikiki Beach is so beautiful, and it's not relaxing because it can be, but there's like a lot of tourists there though, because it's
Mhm.
on Oahu.
Mhm.
But oh my God, I just love the beach. I could live by the beach. I want to. Like that's my dream.
How
But
did
I
we
also love the mountains. But anyway, yeah.
You can't have both. Those are very
Yes, I
opposite.
can. No, you can. Definitely. You've never been to Japan, obviously, where
Oh,
it's like
that's
mountains
true.
and like ocean. Yeah. In America, it's not really gonna happen. But but in other parts of the world, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm definitely not really a lake kind of girl. I'm kind of afraid of like fleshing bacteria ever since that became a thing. And like I feel like a lot of times people have been like in lakes or like still bodies of water, which I guess
That's
is a lake.
that's one of my biggest fears is parasites. Those are like I'm more terrified about parasites than I should be. Like
Like
like everyone has
like
a healthy fear of parasites, right? But like
yeah.
my fear is feels more imminent than other people. Like, I'm worried about them more than I should be. But so
That's
I
so funny.
understand. I don't like the idea of swimming in a lake. Um,
Yeah,
Lakes are pretty to be at, but like I don't think I would
not,
ever really want to go in more than like putting my feet in. Like my feet would be
no,
enough.
I don't even want to do that. I like a river, fine, that's different, shit's going through quick. But like a lake, it scares me because I feel like the articles I've seen on people getting flesh-eating bacteria, it's from like a still body of water, and I'm
Hmm.
not like comfortable with that.
See,
Um,
rivers scare me because they're moving though too.
well, yeah, no shit. I mean, like, there's like certain rivers that are like super fast, where
Uh-huh.
you're like, yeah, I don't want to go in that because I'm gonna die and get like
Uh-huh.
swept downstream, and then it's gonna hit like a waterfall, and then you're not gonna be seen again. No, but I mean like, okay, I mean like rivers that are like, they're flowing, but like you can cross it. Like
Hmm.
you're hiking and like you take off your boots and you put on your like whatever chacos and your water shoes, and then you could cross it. That's what I bet.
How did we get here from body image and eating disorders?
To
Uh,
rivers and lakes, various
uh,
bodies of water.
it's okay. We can have our listeners learn more about us.
Yeah.
But I guess we should
Okay.
go ahead and thank you all for listening.
Yes.
We are available anywhere you guys stream podcasts and on YouTube. We post every other Wednesday now at
Oh
9 a.m.
yes.
Eastern. We forgot to say that last week. We did not see you the next week. So it's every 2 Wednesdays now.
Hmm. Yes, we forgot to announce that. But yeah, here it is now.
Yeah, you still get to listen to us. All right, thank you guys, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.